live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
I think it's time to move into our board athletes. From one board athlete who doesn't want to spend Easter alone to another who is just giving out his phone number all willy-nilly. So, Tre Young decided to give his number out to some of the fans.
Not some.
So all of them, excuse me.
Yeah.
So, some of them called and text, but they could only get through if they text, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So they couldn't call and like blow his phone up, but they could only get through if they text. But I can imagine how many text messages that young man got.
Well, he said it was quite a few. He was like, I'm working my way through them.
Yeah.
So, and I just, it was a daring move. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing
Mike Jones-esque.
Oh gosh. I will say that fans probably appreciate the transparency.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is when this is all said and done, or if it gets to be too overwhelming, he can always change the number. No big deal. That obviously, makes it a little less crazy that he can change the number at any moment. But I don't think I've ever, at least I don't know of anybody who's in you just said Mike Joe, but I'm in the sports world who's done
just giving out their number randomly,
giving out their number. I don't think I've ever seen it, and it's a brave thing on his part because you're opening yourself up not just to have fans, but people who might be haters too.
This is true.
Just saying, it's a little rough.
True. Yeah, and maybe you could just ignore them.
I'm sure he will.
I would usually, give that. Ignore the haters because there's so much more love out here than it is.
Absolutely, and it's no different than being on social media. So
exactly.
Yeah,
because you're gonna get your comments where folks are like,
absolutely, yeah.
Ignore those, block them if you need to.
Yep.
But yeah, they bored.
That was like literally when he got interviewed. That was what he said. They were like, "Yeah, Tre Young of the Atlanta Hawks is giving out his number," and then they brought him on, and they were like, "Tre, why are you giving that?" He was like, "Well, I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing anything." Like, okay.
I ain't doing that.
I ain't doing that. I might as well give it out. Let's do this. Like, yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And you had me listen to, what is the name of it? With Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson.
All the Smoke.
All the Smoke. So
so
they were
podcast.
Interviewing Mark Jackson on there.
Yes.
And I thought I'm saying this to say, because, some people are probably like, you bored. You should be working out. You should be, and they made an interesting point about when basketball returns that there's no amount of like isolated workouts or whatever they're doing that can really keep them prepared for going back to playing basketball. So they're still going to have to go and get in basketball shape or prepared to be able to play basketball whenever they get the chance to go back out. Right. So don't knock him for sitting on his phone all day if that's what you to do. Like, he done played horse. He done did the NBA 2K.
Right.
So he's definitely trying to stay entertained.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I know from experience, there is no way to get in game shape but the games.
Yeah.
So we can do all of these training camps and we can do these very rigorous workout sessions, but until the games come and what our coaches used to say, like, until the bullets start flying.
Oh,
like it's
geez.
I know. You know,
Ouch.
the whole
Back in the day, it
comparison
wasn't.
to football and war, and you know.
That just
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway.
Yeah. So,
Jeez.
I stay entertained, athletes. I completely understand. Completely understand.
Yeah.
Maybe not give out your phone number.
I don't know if that would be my advice to anybody, but if you love it, I love it. Like, know, like, yeah, I think it's cool. He seems like he is someone who understands branding.
Oh yeah.
He understands branding. I've seen that from him. He's been since he got here.
Yeah.
Since he got to Atlanta.
Yeah, because you're in Charlotte.
I'm in Charlotte. Since he got to Atlanta, he's been making himself known. So good kid. I like him.
Yeah, he has a lot of. He's probably going to start to get more national endorsements, but he has a lot of like the local stuff, and the people of Atlanta love him. So,
yeah, he's a good kid. Very talented. We can't take that away from him. Listen,
yes.
When you start the point guard, Jeff Teague's on your team, you good.
Right. Don't we love Jeff Teague?
I love Jeff Teague. I was so mad with the Hawks when they got rid of him. Like, what's wrong with y'all?
They brought him on back though.
They brought him back. Yeah. Okay, we off topic. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
We just some sports people, y'all.
No, we love it. And we just talk about it freely all the time.
Oh,
let's move to, actually, this is two issues in one. Right? Because even though Deion Sanders didn't spend his entire career in Atlanta, like his presence in Atlanta, and I wasn't here, so only you can really, really speak to it, between the two of us. But just looking at it from the outside in, like his presence in Atlanta did something for the entire city.
Absolutely. It was so equivalent because Deion was probably a little before, like, real talk your time.
Yeah.
It was the same feeling that Michael Vick brought to the city.
Yes.
Deion walked in with an attitude, with his Jerry curl and his flashiness, and he was flamboyant and cocky, and he was unapologetic, and it turned a city, because Atlanta's in the deep South.
Yes.
Place where people have proper manners, very Southern charming, that type of thing. You typically didn't get that from people here.
Yeah.
And so he turned Atlanta on his head. Like, wait, no, this is how we're gonna be from now on.
Right.
While I'm here anyway. That was kind of his attitude. And he embraced Atlanta as his city.
Yeah.
And even though he splits his love between Atlanta and Dallas, he still looks at Atlanta as this place that gave him his start.
Right.
And it's a special place for Atlanta in his heart.
Right.
And I think Atlanta feels the same way about him.
Yes.
Because he brought notoriety. I
still see Atlanta Falcons 21 jerseys. Still see him.
Listen, because he will always be Deion Primetime Sanders. And people, that was something that put Atlanta on the map.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was probably the biggest superstar to come through Atlanta. But before I can't speak about it because I wasn't really old enough to know. But from the time that I can remember, he was the biggest superstar to come through the city.
Yeah. Bigger than Dominique Wilkins?
Well, for football.
Okay. Yeah.
For football. Yeah, no, Nick
before
always, listen, Dominique Wilkins is, listen. Yeah. He is Atlanta, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. To this day, he is still Atlanta. Okay?
Right, still doing broadcasts for the Hawks. So
okay. There's no statue of Deion outside of Mercedes-Benz. However, outside of Phillips, there's a statue of Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, this is true. And a street named after him.
Right. So, Either way, yeah. So, So no, Dion definitely put his imprint on this city, on the city. He did, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we start this using that portion because the Falcons never retired Deion Sanders' number.
The Falcons never retire anybody's number.
True.
They have a ring of fame, but they do not retire.
They don't retire numbers. And I think that they have, at the very least, one special case. And I do understand it. Like, you don't want to take numbers out of rotation, but Deion Sanders, his career with the Falcons, and then what he went on to do after he left the Falcons, I think warrants, because he's arguably the best cornerback to ever play the game. And he came in immediately and changed the culture of not just an organization, but a city. If nobody else deserves to have their number retired, he deserves to have his number retired. And it's unfortunate that the Falcons don't do that.
Yeah. Because that's what leads to what we're about to talk about.
Right. So for those of you who don't know, Todd Gurley, who's a Georgia boy, went to the University of Georgia, was
Go Dogs.
Drafted by the then, were they the same? They were the St. Louis Rams when he got drafted.
Yep.
Got drafted by the then St. Louis Rams, who eventually moved to Los Angeles. And he was, at the time of signing, the highest paid running back ever. He was eventually released from that contract, and he found his new home in Atlanta, which turns out to be an old home.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We got to play some Mace for him. Well, Stephanie, do you know what number he decided to wear? And his return to Atlanta.
21.
21.
Yeah.
How do you, as a Falcons fan, how do you feel about that? It has to be conflicted. I'm going to just say that because you love Todd Gurley.
I do.
Love Todd Gurley.
I do.
So how do you feel about it?
So let's say this. I'm going to say this because we're not going to make it seem like the number's been worn since Deion was here. In fact, Desmond Trufant wore the number until last year. Now that he's no longer a Falcon. So it's back on the market, basically. The 21 was back on the market. And I don't know what Desmond Trufant did before he decided to wear the number, but I know Todd Gurley went to Deion about the number. And so to me, I feel like it's more of a homage. Mm-hmm. It was more of a, I want to wear this number out of respect.
You know what? Before you continue, thank you.
Why?
It was an homage.
Yes.
Not a homage.
Who says homage? I'm sorry.
Everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. No, I needed to point that out right there because.
Okay.
Lord, I hear homage and it's like nails on the chalkboard.
I don't even know. Okay. Yeah. No, homage. It was an homage to him. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is him honoring, because you grew up, even though you weren't in that era, you know who Deion is. You know what I mean? And you know the greatness that he was for this city. Yeah. So you want to wear the number, probably the same reason Desmond Trufant wanted to wear the number. I mean, and you were in the position, so it's even more of a. But I feel like, because Todd Gurley's thing was the NFL has a rule. I imagine if he had his choice, he would have worn the number he wore in college. Yeah. But he can't.
He can't wear that, yeah.
He can't wear that number. He got to wear something between 20 and, I don't know, what is 49. It, 40, 49? Yeah, 20 and 49. So he chose 21. I think to out of respect for Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And so if that's the intent, I'm not as upset about it.
Right.
Him wearing the number, you know what I mean?
Right.
I agree with you that, and there's some other ones I can think of that should be right along with Deion that should be retired. I don't think anybody has worn 58 since Jesse Tuggle retired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, you know, like those are people, absolutely, they need to have, you know, their numbers need to be retired. But
right.
if you're not going to do it, then fine. I appreciate the way that Todd went about asking, not so much about his response to the response, but I'm not a fan of the way he responded to the response. But
right.
Yeah, I feel like if he did it for those reasons, then I out of the purest respect for Deion, then I can't even be mad at it.
Now, what was his response to the response?
So Deion apparently was like, "No, I don't want you to wear that number." You know, something to that. I didn't see a quote as to what he said. I'm just assuming that was what was said because
right.
Todd Gurley then came out to the press and said Deion didn't give him his blessing, but he was going to wear it anyway. So then Deion came back and said he was joking. He was like, I was joking. I'm not tied to that number. That number don't make me who I am. People go know Deion. They don't know 21.
Time, whatever number you want. Yeah.
So they know Deion Sanders. Like
he didn't wear 21 when he went to Baltimore, where he ended.
No, he had 21 in Dallas though.
Yeah, he had 21 in Dallas. He had 21 in San Francisco. He had 21 for the Redskins. Mm-hmm. For those of you who forgot that he was a Redskin.
I did. Listen, when you said I'm like Redskins, but okay.
I believe he had like 37
when he was in Baltimore.
Ravens, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was
so
his last stop. So
he's not really tied. He was just saying, I'm not tied to it. He was like, I respect the young man, and I think he's a great person, and he's got so much potential, and blah blah blah, and all of this kind of stuff. So, I was just a little more upset with Todd Gurley going out into the media. If you decided you were gonna wear the number without his blessing, if you thought he wasn't joking, just do it. Don't even put that out there. Why you gotta
make no statement about
make it messy? Like that made it messy. Don't make it messy. Just wear the number.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he can't stop you from wearing it. You were just being respectful. And if he said no and you still gonna do it anyway, then just go do it.
Right.
Whether he was joking or not. I don't know. I don't know if he was joking when he said it initially. I have a feeling he was, just because that seems like Deion Sanders, but it was more of a like, really? Why are you even asking me that? Like, Desmond Trufant just finished wearing a number last year. Like, really? So, okay. So, yeah. But it is what it is. I'm sure I hope that he lives up to the hype of the number. That's all I can say. You wearing it, bro.
I pray that he does. Like, I feel like
I have all the faith that he will.
Yeah. I don't want it to end like this for him.
No. I don't want no. I don't want him to I don't want it to end in like a bad way. You know what I mean? Like you've had such a prolific career from college to professional.
Right.
That even at home, I don't want you to go be down. Like that's not so I don't feel like that's the case though. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. So we'll see. I don't know. All right.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.